What's up, everybody? Welcome. I am your host, Biohazard Candy Kid, and you are watching a new program called Technoshock. This program is going to be talking about technology, the world of techno. That includes techno music, but we are going to be talking all things technology. And a lot of various other things pertaining to the past, the present, and the future. Okay? I'm going to attempt to do this program, I would say maybe twice a week. So stay tuned. Hit that bell notification. Hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share. And tell people about Technoshock. It's going to get real in here. Oh, it's going to get real. Yeah. So what do I have for you today? So actually, before I begin on what I have for you today, I would just like to let you know that these shows are going to run anywhere from 1 hour and plus. Will I chop up certain sections of the show for you? Maybe, maybe not, but most likely not. And the reason is because I don't believe in short attention spans. I only believe in long attention spans. So I want to give you shows that are at minimum an hour and 30 minutes long, maximum to infinity and beyond. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do. So we'll see how it goes. For those of you who didn't hear me in the first part, this show is going to be called Technoshock, and it's going to be 2 times a week. Any 2 days of the week, you know, and then I'll have a set schedule because for now I'm still figuring out stuff, you know, for the show and stuff like that. So, yeah, let's get into it. First of all, I want to talk just a brief moment about myself, and why I am doing a show called Technoshock. Well, you see, I'm a person who actually listens to techno music all day, every day. I listen to other various forms of music, kinds of music. I love classical music. I like country. I like rock and roll. Old school hip hop, rap, jazz, like actual jazz. Even all the other forms of jazz. The only music I don't like is country music. I don't consider that music or to be music at all. But I listen to techno. I listen to house, hardstyle, trance, acid house, rave, jungle, breakbeat, drum and bass, drum, and then bass. I listen to all of it. I don't listen to every single artist out there because there's a lot of new stuff that they consider techno, house, trance, hardstyle that has nothing to do with the actual styles. And then they're not even those styles. Like listen to DJ Zany from back in like 1998, 2002, that's hardstyle. He's like the father of hardstyle. Okay. Listen to Hard Floor, Acid House, straight up. But you listen to anybody else that they claim they make acid house and hardstyle, but it's not. It's not. Like David Guetta, Avicii, that's not trance or techno or house. That's maybe a new form of it, but it's not like the original forms, is what I'm saying. Um, so I listen to a lot of electronic dance music, which is not just techno or trance. It's also hip hop, rock, anything with an electronic instrument. Okay, and all of us listen to it. But if it's classical music, if it's something made with a non-electrical instrument, then it's not electronic music or electronic dance music. I'd call it classical dance music. Classical meaning Beethoven, Mozart, the Roman Gregorian chants, the the Chinese, the ancient Chinese music, African, ancient African music, stuff like that. So that's what I consider to be uh whatchamacallit, like the original like dance music that was non-electronic. So I wanted to talk about the music background a little bit so you can kind of see where I'm coming from. The techno, the house, the trance, the hardstyle, the acid music. Okay? We're going to get into some stuff that's pretty heavy, but it's pretty light too. Um, there's a lighter side to it, and then there's a heavy side to it. All right? We're going to get into it. So this is, I guess, the first show of Technoshock. So thank you for joining me. I hope you appreciate this show. I'm doing it because everybody needs to be informed of what's really going on and who actually controls the past, the present, and the future. So you know how to combat these people, the government of the United States, the governments around the world, and the world government that is forming right in front of your face, behind your back, off to the side of your shoulders, on top of your head, down in front of your feet, all around basically. So we're going to get into it. Okay, first of all, let me adjust something here. Let me see something. Okay. Alrighty. Um, let me see. Uh, let me see here. Just bear with me. Okay, well. Okay. Alrighty. Crap. First we're going to start off with techno-fascism. Okay? Now, techno-fascism is not a new term. Matter of fact, techno-fascism is not a new term as actually. Techno-fascism is an old term, very old. It's just that we're using it more and more. Simply because, well, now we are truly in the age of AI, the first generation of quantum computers, and, computers that can do things at a faster rate than they could ever do before. Cell phones, wearables, smart technology, things, 5G, 4G. We are talking about 6G as of right now, and there's 7G also. And I can show you some 7G stuff later on in the show if I get around to it, and stuff like that. So techno-fascism has been used more and more these days, especially since Elon Musk took rise to power. Now, I want you to think about something. Think about the word Elon. Doesn't that sound like a futuristic name? Like it sounds like something from StarCraft. Like we just landed on the planet Elon. Like think about it, Or maybe a race called the Elanians, the Elons, which Elon sounds like Eon. And you know, for those of you that know what eons are, you know, like it's been one eon since I've seen you, like, you know, that term, eons ago. Yeah, that's kind of like saying ages ago. So, I mean, I'm just saying his name is a weird name. It's a very, very weird, technocratic name. Like it's a name that fits today's world. Elon Musk. Now, Musk could be short for musket, which is a gun. I mean, think about it. Musket, and musquite, muskrat. But let's just use musket, you know? I mean, I'm just coming up with these things just to get you to kind of use your own brain, just to kind of get you to start thinking like, what does his name actually mean? What, you know, not to what the internet says it means or some other person. Like, start, you know, tapping into your power and really think who he is, why is he here, where he came from. We want the full answers. We want the real truth. Not the truth that they give you, whether it be the past, the present, or the future, but the actual truth that is hidden behind their lies, their mask. You want to take off Guy Fawkes's mask. You don't want to just look at Guy Fawkes's mask and say, yeah, that's Guy Fawkes. You want to take off his mask. Okay? Even though there are paintings of the actual Guy Fawkes, but you know the whole deal with the Guy Fawkes mask and what are they called? Anonymous. You want to take off the mask and you want to see who's behind the mask. Okay? Like you're seeing me now. I don't have a mask on. There's no AI overlay. There's no, you know, cat and dog ears over me. You see me as I am. Okay? Okay. I just had to make sure that things were, okay here. So right here we have techno-fascism, okay? And I'm going to go in a little deeper than what it says here. And I know this is an AI overview. We're going to scroll together and look through some like websites here. And we're not going to go to like the first pages. You know, you have to dive deep into the internet. You don't go to the first, I mean, you can go to the first 1, 2, 3, 5 pages, but you got to go deep. Okay? Because the internet on the surface level, it's a piece of crap. They're just feeding you stuff they want to feed you. They're not going to show you what's behind the mask. Okay? Techno-fascism describes the intersection of technological advancement with fascist ideology or practices, okay? Which fascism was conceived in the 1920s. Basically, from 1900 to, I would say, 1950. So all World War I and World War II, fascism was being created. It never died. Fascism never died. It still exists. It just went from the old school fascism to kind of a more modern fascism of the 80s and 90s to now techno-fascism. Advancement with fascist ideologies or practices. It suggests a scenario where technology, particularly in the hands of powerful individuals or corporations, which is what we have today. We have powerful individuals that run big corporations and small corporations and medium-sized corporations. It's not just big ones. See, everybody is just telling you go after Google, go after Amazon, go after Larry Fink and his company, go after what's his name, Elon Musk and Tesla. No, you got to go after every single business, big, small, or medium, because they're all involved. The small guy down the street who you support that runs a family business, he's a part of this techno-fascism. Because even the small guy has some form of fascist ideology within his company, a very small portion of it. Because we're in the year 2025, and fascism was created during the 1900s, and it's still here. The ideologies are still here. They still teach it to people. And they don't even know they're being taught, because, see, the way they spin it to you, the way they give it to you is, oh, fascism is a thing of the 1930s. They show you that kind of fascism. So you think, oh, well, yeah, we don't have that anymore. That's Adolf Hitler died, Stalin died, Mussolini died, President, what was it, Roosevelt or Truman? They all died. That old era is dead. No, they just repackaged it, rebranded it. It's the same. In this new package with a new name is the same thing, fascism. They just added the word techno in front of it. Technology, technological. Techno. Back then, there were powerful individuals that ran big, small, medium-sized companies. Andrew Carnegie, if that's his name. Yeah, Andrew Carnegie. Scottish-American industrialist and philanthropist. Right here, Andrew Carnegie. The Rockefellers. Henry Ford. Okay? All those people, they were the big guys before Donald Trump, before Elon Musk, before Bill Gates, before the guys, I would say, from the 1970s onward, 1960s onward. Okay? Excuse me while I just a few things here. Okay, it suggests a scenario where technology, particularly in the hands of powerful individuals or corporations, is used to enforce control, restrict freedoms, and potentially establish a totalitarian or authoritarian state. This concept often involves the merging of technological capabilities with political power, potentially leading to a society where digital tools are used to monitor, manipulate, and ultimately control the population. Technofascism is where they use technologies to control the people of this planet. Okay? They use technologies developed by man, created by man, that they got from the Dark Aeon that controls this planet, that runs this planet, to control the masses. They use your smartphone, your computer, your car, your refrigerator, the newspaper, the shoes you walk in, okay? The shirts you put on, the hairstyles that you have, the way you speak. I mean, they are using like your words, your language as a weapon against you through the computers, through the algorithms, because they switch the words around, they switch the meanings around. And then you speak those new meanings and those new words. When you can go in an old school dictionary that has been around for thousands of years, you can go to a Webster's dictionary, Merriam-Webster's dictionary, even buy a new one, which some of the new ones might be tweaked. But you find an old one, you'll be like, nope, this is the way it's been for thousands of years. You can't just all of a sudden in one day change the definition of this word or change this word and the definition or just change the word entirely. Nope, you can't do that. It is what it is. But no, they're doing that. They are literally controlling you through technologies, technological advancements. It's not hard to see. It's not something that is difficult to see, difficult to understand, impossible to understand, see. It's not. It's right in front of you. You all have a cell phone, don't you? All of you have a cell phone. What do you think the cell phone was designed to do? Was it really designed to call people? Was it really designed for a quicker way to communicate around the world? What was the cell phone designed so someone wouldn't have to drive or fly or take a boat? You know, they wouldn't have to go somewhere and they could just dial a number and talk to the person in the comfort of their own home. Was that what the cell phone was designed for? No, it wasn't. The cell phone was not designed for communication. We communicate with it, yes. You type in a number, or you don't type in a number and you just press a button because you already have it saved. And you talk to a person, yes. You go on the internet, yes. You take pictures, yes. But that's not what it was designed for. A cell phone was designed to control you. It was designed to basically take away your time, which time doesn't exist. It's made up. And I'm talking about the man-made time that we have on this planet Earth. A cell phone was invented, developed, so you will not use your natural powers that are given to you to create wonderful, beautiful things, to flourish as a flower. That's why all of you are doom scrolling on your cell phones. Hey, I'm guilty of it too. We're all guilty of it. Even Elon Musk is guilty of it. It's just, he's evil and he's dark. And then there are those of us that aren't dark and evil. We come from the light. Now to Elon Musk, we're evil. Because the dark side views the light side as evil, whereas the light side views the dark side as evil. You see what I'm saying? So, all these technologies that we have created over millennium, or, aeons ago, today, all these technologies we have invented so far have been to control the masses, have been for evil purposes. And good purposes. Because the hammer was used to build a house. It was invented to build something, build a structure so you could live inside of it. But then it was also used to hit someone on the head so they're dead. It was invented. The person who invented it said, hey, here's something that you can use for killing or building. Killing or building. It's your choice. It's not that the hammer itself does that. The hammer alone sits on the table, nothing happens, if you don't touch it. But see, you take that hammer and you can turn it into a weapon or a tool. But the person who invented it, they already knew that. They had that intention, like, I want to build something that is a weapon and a tool at the same time. So it's like, I want to be both evil and good at the same time. Sure. But that's not going to work out at all. That is not going to work out at all. This concept, This concept often involves the merging of technological capabilities with political power, potentially leading to a society where digital tools are used to monitor, manipulate, and ultimately control the population. That's what a cell phone, a computer, a television, any smart device, it doesn't even have to be a smart device. It could be an old school radio. It is basically used as a tool, to manipulate and ultimately control the population. Now, one thing you have to understand is this. One thing that you must know, one thing that I am going to tell you is this stuff is on the internet. All of their terms, all of the stuff that the government or some big, small, medium corporation or your next door neighbor, is putting out there, is making happen in this world, it's on the internet. It's right there. It's not hiding in plain sight. It's not like, it's on the dark web. You have to go in the back corners of the back rooms of the internet because it's not right in front of you. No, it's right in front of you. I just typed in techno-fascism in Google, and this is what it gave me. And they are telling you exactly what their techno-fascism is. The truth is right here. And you can't say, oh, they want you focused on this techno-fascism stuff when that's not what's really going on. It's something else that that is in page 1,655,000. No. Come on. Here are some details. So, okay. Right here, under key elements. Technological control. Techno-fascism leverages technology for surveillance, data collection, and manipulation of information. Which is what's happening right now. We are leveraging, and when I say we, there are people out there who are leveraging technology for surveillance. Your cell phone. The early cell phones didn't have cameras, but see, that was coming. Someone was like, well, the person who invented the cell phone, actually, the person who invented the first communication device that was electronic in the 1800s said, hey, I want to be able to attach a camera to this and have, and make it smaller that'll fit in your pocket, make something very small that will fit in your pocket so I can control you. It's always, since 1800s, let's say, it's always been the case that someone wanted to do that, and we finally arrived. I mean, we arrived a long time ago. Um, when we had the first cell phones that had the first, wave of cameras, and they were shit. But it was only a matter of time when we would have good cameras on cell phones that could take video and, basically do video and pictures, and then have cell phone, and then, also have good audio. What happened? Here comes Steve Jobs with the iPhone. BlackBerry was trying to do the first smart device, but they struggled. And then Apple said, look, I got you. I got you covered. I mean, what better company than Apple? I mean, I'm not surprised. I wasn't surprised at all that Apple did that. When Apple unveiled the iPhone, what was it? 2005 or 6, around that time. I wasn't surprised. I was like, I knew Apple was going to do this because a lot of companies were trying to come up with an MP3 player, and Apple says, look, I got you. So they came out with the iPod. So a lot of people were trying to come up with these new cell phone ideas, and BlackBerry was on the cutting edge, and Apple says, look, Palm Pilot, BlackBerry, all in one. Just use that one finger. I got you. I got you covered. Now, sure, it was cool back then. It was 2006, 7. It was cool. The iPhone was new. It was like, wow, look, an all-screen phone, no buttons, except for the one on the bottom for the power off and on, and then buttons for the volume knob. Oh, that's cool. All right, and a headphone jack? Nice. All Apple did was they took their MP3 technology off of their iPods and said, hey, I wonder if we could build a cell phone out of this, but make it all touchscreen. So it was cool. Don't get me wrong. It was cool for a hot minute. But see, even though it was cool, I knew exactly where we were headed. I was in high school then. I knew exactly where we were headed. At 16, I already knew. I was like, yeah, this is a control device. That camera is now in your pocket 24/7, in your hand 24/7. They see everything. Forget the cell phones of 2003. Nah, this shit right here is where it's at. And with with this talk, with this new concept called apps. Oh, ooh. So I knew that it was going to be a form of survey. I knew, right away that, hey, this is a new form of surveillance. This is a new form of, like it says here, data collection and manipulation of information. Do you know how the iPhone came about? The first so-called smartphone where it just had a screen, no physical buttons except for the power on and off, and the buttons on the side for the volume. Do you know how we got there? We got there because of 9/11. See, they had to create a fake disaster. Okay? I mean, 9/11 happened. Don't get me wrong. I went to New York. I've been there. I stayed there for a month. I didn't see any Twin Towers. I got to see the site. Not after it got destroyed, but I went there in 2000, what was it? 14 or 13 or something. But so that really happened. But see, they had to have that happen in order to come out with new technologies. See, the public wasn't going to buy a smart device. They weren't going to buy a tablet, some type of new technology, that like what we have today. They weren't going to buy all these smart technologies unless you gave them something that would make them be like, hey, I should buy this for security and safety. When it's You know, because see, when the iPhone came out, the first thing they were parading around was that the iPhone was very safe and secure. It's not your traditional cell phone. Well, it wasn't safe and secure. It had a microphone and a camera, just like the old cell phones, but better. And with the headphone jack, you could connect any type of microphone you wanted to it to even get better audio. So literally, it was a control device. It was a surveillance device. It was a manipulation device. Because now you could have news apps on there like never before and get news in like the quickest time possible. And so they could just flood you with all kinds of information that is bullshit, fake. The only thing that Donald Trump got right is when he said fake news. You want to tear that apart? When Donald Trump was calling out in the 2016 election and his first term in office, when he was calling out the news outlets and saying fake news, fake news, fake news, oh, he was right that everything was fake on this planet. But see, he was just doing a little mainstream shit where CNN is fake news, Fox News is not fake news. He was doing that left or right paradigm, Democrat or Republican paradigm. He wasn't basically telling you, hey, look, even what I'm giving you is fake. I'm not telling you the truth. Because if you knew the truth, me, myself, and I, and these techno-fascists, we would be destroyed. So we can't give you the truth, but we'll give you something that simulates the truth. We'll give you something that we want, that we have come up with. Oh, CNN is fake news. But Fox News? No, that's not fake. Man, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Authoritarianism, totalitarianism. It often involves the suppression of dissent, restrictions on freedom of speech, and the concentration of power in the hands of a few. Yeah. The concentration of power in the hands of a few. I mean, what do we see now? Suppression of dissent and restrictions on freedom of speech. We see that today on all fronts. There's a lot of censorship happening. I mean, people are even getting censored because I just saw a video from Linus Tech Tips. I didn't see the full video, but people are now getting censored on product reviews, like just for doing a review. They have to take down that video. You know, I'm going to say this. I was not a Steam person a long time ago. I did not like Steam. And the reason why I did not like Steam is because, and I'm talking about the Steam website for video games and stuff like that. I didn't like Steam before because I'm against, because I was against, and I still am sort of against downloading video games off the internet. I'm for physical media. Okay, I'm very much for physical media. And as a matter of fact, physical media is making a big comeback. China just developed a new CD, a new type of disc that is going to destroy the world. Tapes, like tape players, tapes are coming back. There's a huge movement for that. There's a lot of punk bands, garage bands doing their albums on tapes. Records are actually back. So it's coming back, and it's being fueled by the Gen Z and Gen X, Gen Z and Gen Alpha, who some of them know what's going on, and they don't want any of this internet crap. They want the physical stuff. So I was a person who back then was like, nah, I'm sticking with physical stuff. what turned me on to Steam was not just the Steam sales that they have. Like, they have like a bunch of Steam sales every year. Like a summer, a spring, a winter, a fall. Okay? That, you know, and it's not that they had a bunch of cool games on there that you can't buy in physical format. No. It was that the founder and owner of Steam said, fuck you to the gaming industry, and he's allowing anybody to say whatever they want for video games. Leave any kind of reviews. Basically, Steam is the go-to place if you want to find out if a game is bad or not, if a game is horrible or not, if it's good or not, if it's excellent or not. And gaming companies do not like that, because when, just name a company, EA comes out with the game and everybody writes a bad review about it, shit, no one's going to play that game, and EA is going to take it off. They're going to not sell it anymore, or they're going to have to rework it. You know, they're going to have to reconfigure it so everybody likes it. And all these gaming companies don't like that, because Steam, the founder and owner of Steam, he's not suppressing information. He's letting information flow as it should. So that's why I like Steam. So there are still platforms out there where there is no control. It's the Wild West. You can say whatever you want. And the person who created it doesn't give a shit about suppression. He is there to get all information across, which is what the internet was intended to be in the first place, to let all information across. Hillary Clinton said it famously, we are at an information war. And we are. And they had to do something about the information. They had to censor it. They had to put restrictions on freedom of speech. And only a few people were put in position of power to do so. And when I say a few, I don't mean 5 people. You know, I don't mean 3 people. There's a lot of them. You know, one is the United States government. You know, at least for me here in the United States. And then for me around the world, all other governments. See, they're using few, like, oh, there's 5 guys around the table, 5 women, 5 guys, you know, 5 women and men. No, it's just your government. It's just, yeah, sure. There's also secret societies that you actually do see out there, because you can go to a Freemason's office. You can walk right in, look at all the symbolism. There's one in your city. There was one right in Temecula by the DMV office. I could go right across the street from DMV office in Temecula, California, and go, you know, go to the Freemasons office, walk right in, and see all the stuff and what they were all about. So they are there. Nothing is hiding. It's right in front of you. I mean, everything that's on planet Earth is on planet Earth, and it's right in front of you. It's not hiding. Because there's no such thing as hiding. George Bush Jr., you know, George Bush, who was the president basically during the 9/11 attacks, that George Bush, the son, he said there's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. He said that when he was trying to catch Osama bin Laden and his goons. Basically catch Middle Easterners, Arabians, which Osama bin Laden was a trained human being from the United States. He was trained in the United States, same as Mao Zedong. They were trained here in the United States by United States government officials, CIA, FBI. They were trained here and then sent back to their countries to do the operations. I'm not surprised if Zelensky was trained here, because America does a lot of operations around the world. So literally, right now, Hillary Clinton is living her dream. Somewhat. Because you can't catch everyone at once. They are trying to. They think that with the surveillance state, like what you see around the world, not just China, they think they can control everyone with a surveillance state. Where there's cameras everywhere, there's microphones everywhere. I mean, there are microphones everywhere. There are cameras everywhere. I'm using a camera right now. I'm using a microphone right now. They think that using certain frequencies, they can control the population. I know there's a lot of you that are going to say, well, they hit you with a certain frequency today to do a video. Well, see, the dark side is not the only one that uses frequencies. The light side uses frequencies. So the good side, which is what I'm a part of, the light aeons, we use our frequencies to go against the dark side, which is what I'm doing right now. Merging of corporations and political power. The concept highlights the potential for tech companies and their leaders to exert significant influence over political decisions and governance. Merging of corporate and political power. That's what you have today. That is exactly what Elon Musk and Donald Trump are doing. It's a corporate it's a corporation, which United States is a corporation, by the way, and so are other countries, okay, and other islands, and, you know, any country, all countries are a corporation. But within the corporation, there is political power. There are political people. There is a government. At one time, they were separate. Now they're just merging. They do exert significant influence over political decisions and governance, and that's what you're seeing around the world today. Not just in the United States, but you see it everywhere. Even the people that are going to Antarctica, they're a part of the system. Yeah, they're not going to tell you the truth of what's down there. They're going to give you some false information. That's because they are being controlled. They are being told what to say. Like when you see a president, when you see a certain leader of a country stand up at his podium, his pulpit, his what do we say in some old show of mine? Huh? His altar, where he's using magic. That's why when you see them up there, standing up on the podium, they have a teleprompter because they are being told which magical words to say to you. Remember what magic is? Spell casting, spelling. They are casting spells on you. Nationalism, xenophobia. Some interpretations link techno-fascism with nationalist or xenophobic ideologies, where technology is used to reinforce a sense of national identity and exclude perceived outsiders. Some interpretations link techno-fascism with nationalist or xenophobic ideologies, where technology is used to reinforce a sense of national identity. Right now, around the world, we are using technologies to basically get us have a sense of national identity. We are. Elon Musk is here with Tesla to kind of be like, hey, this is part of our national identity. It's to give you a sense of, you know, like, oh, this is America. You know, that's why he's saying make America great again, along with Donald Trump. You know, Donald Trump is still working with Elon Musk. He did not send him to the back. That is all political theater. It's a back and forth tug of war. They're just pushing and pulling on you. Examples and concerns. Some analysts have pointed to the potential for the tech companies to become instruments of state control, citing examples like the use of social media for political propaganda and the increasing reliance on algorithms for decision making, which is exactly what they're doing today all over the world. Everybody's involved. All companies, big, small, or medium-sized. Because you work at a small, family-owned handyman shop, your boss has control over you. If you do not have a boss, if you are your own boss, you are in control of yourself. If you have someone over you, then you are not in control of yourself. To be in control of yourself means to not have someone over you. Even if you're working with a friend and you both say, oh, we control ourselves. No, you don't. No, you do not. Because if you're working with your friend in a project, you're working together. That means you are both controlling each other. There is no single control. You are not controlling yourself. You do not have self-control. Because if you're building a car together, it's not just you building the car, it's you and the other person. So you do the front bumper. And then he does the turbo kit. But see, him doing the turbo kit, you go over there and you tell him, hey, no. That's the wrong turbo. Get the smaller one, not the big one. You just controlled him. If he's building the car all by himself and he puts the big turbo in, and there's nobody else, he is in control of himself. If he puts a big turbo in and then he says to himself, no, I have to put the small turbo in, he did that all himself. He has self-control. That's self-control. That is essentially you being by yourself, having full control of yourself, where there's nobody over you. So if you work for a small business, small company that is family owned, that has a little, like a mom and pop shop, someone is controlling you. So you say something that they will hate, you say something that to them is negative, you may say hi to a customer and they think that hi is negative and you should say fuck you, they'll fire your ass. You just got controlled. You just got controlled. You have been controlled. You are not free. All of you who think that you're doing a podcast, you're doing some type of video, and there's like 4 of you sitting around the table, and you think that you guys are free because you're not a part of the system, the so-called system, mainstream system. You're not on some news network. You're in your garage, and you're basically it's just 4 friends just sitting around talking. You guys who are doing that, who think that you're free because you're doing that, you're not. Because all 4 of you within that room have set guidelines, have set what each individual can and can't say. You see, here there's only me. So I have total control over what I say, what I show, what I do. There's nobody else here. It's just me by myself. I control the show. I control Technoshock. Nobody else controls Technoshock. like the videos that I'm making, the content I'm showing, what? You're going to say, well, you posted to YouTube and Google could just take it off and you just got controlled. Okay? You're absolutely right. I just got controlled. But I'm not talking about that kind of control. That's a form of control. Control is not just what I was explaining. So if it's not a situation like mine, like I'm having right now, you are controlled. That's why I will say big companies like mega companies, medium-sized companies, small companies, even that also means some mom and pop shops. You are controlled. You are being controlled, no matter who you work for, the size of the business. And companies have always been instruments of state control since the beginning of time, since the very first company. Citing examples like the use of social media for political propaganda and increasing reliance on algorithms for decision making. And that's what we live in today. We live in a world of algorithms. Propaganda has increased tenfold. And then we are using social media for political propaganda. Propaganda has blown up like you can't imagine. Since Edward Bernays, the father of propaganda, propaganda has been used extensively, and now it's used in its fullest form. Like it's bigger than ever. It's much better than ever, and I don't mean better I mean better like in a sense. It's better than it was in the 1930s. Doesn't mean it's good. I mean there can be good propaganda, but there can also be evil, dark propaganda, which is mostly what is put out there. The concentration of power in the hands of few tech billionaires, coupled with their influence on government policies, raises concerns about the potential for unchecked power and the erosion of democratic institutions. We never really had democratic institutions in the first place. We've always had tech institutions, technological institutions, institutions founded on technology. Yeah. Ah, Jesus. Huh. Okay. Technological institutions. Technological institutions are higher education institutions that focus on fields like engineering, technology, applied science, and natural sciences, often with a strong emphasis on research and practical application. These institutions, sometimes called institutes of technology, polytechnic institutes, or technological universities, aim to prepare students for careers in technology-driven industries. We've had these since the beginning of time because it says here what they are. They're higher education institutions that focus on fields like engineering, technology, applied science, and natural sciences. We've always had engineering. Even in the Middle Ages, there were engineers. We've always had technology. In the Roman times, they had various forms of technologies. They had applied science. They had natural sciences in the Roman times. Science has been here for a long time. With a strong emphasis on research and practical application. We've always had researchers. Even in the Middle Ages, they had researchers. They were researching what this weapon does, what this does, what that does. They researched. Okay? So it says here, democratic institutions, they were never democratic to begin with. All institutions are technological institutions. Do you know how the school came about? And I'm talking about the school where you go to a building that has windows and doors. It has a library inside, computer room, in today's world. A school, elementary school, middle school, preschool, high school, a city college, a vocational school, a technical school, an Ivy League, university, those type of schools. You know how they came about? See, how they came about was, someone a long time ago said, hey, we need to teach people how to use our tools. We need to teach people how to govern human society, how to become an architect. We need to teach people how to be inventors, how to be scientists. Because all of these things they have created, you have to teach it to someone. So you had to, at first they had stone tablets and they would have students sit down and, they would start writing on this big tablet board, like, the old stone tablets. They'd start writing and then you jot down notes and this and that. And then they'd actually have you do hands-on things and stuff like that. And you'd be an architect or you'd be a scientist or someone in the medical profession, whatever. This is nothing new. It's all ancient stuff. It's just we're doing it with a new look, a new type of era, modern era, or now we're in hypermodernity. We're in a hypermodern world, by the way. Which I'll even show you that right here, hypermodern world. Hypermodernity. It's exactly right here. Hypermodernity or supermodernity, hypermodernity or supermodernity is a type of mode or stage of society that reflects an inversion of modernity. Hypermodernity stipulates a world in which the object has been replaced by its own attributes. The new attribute-driven world is driven by the rise of technology and aspires to a convergence between technology and biology and, more importantly, information and matter. Because right now we are seeing the convergence of technology and biology and information and matter. Hypermodernism finds its validation in emphasis on the value of new technology to overcome natural limitations. It rejects essentialism and instead favors postmodernism. In hypermodernism, the function of an object has its reference point in the form of an object rather than the function being the reference point for form. In other words, it describes an epoch in which technological meaning is reversed from the standpoint of functionalism in favor of constructivism. So we are living in supermodernity or hypermodernity world. It's a hard word to say. Hypermodernity. Hypermaternity. That's easier to say, but hypermodernity or supermodernity. It's hard for me to say it. Or you could just say postmodernism, which was preceded by modernism. This is exactly what Wikipedia says it is. And you can find books on this too. And look what the fields are. Anthropology, archaeology, architecture, art, criminology, dance, feminism, film, television, literature, picture books, music, international relations, philosophy, anarchism, Marxism, post-positivism, psychology, political science, theater, theology, and religion. Religion. That's a big one. For those of you here in South Carolina, the Bible Belt, the fuck out of here with that shit. I don't want that on my planet. Okay. If you don't, I'm reading you this stuff off the internet. It's right here. If you don't believe this, then hey, you can go check out Days of Noah, who talks about postmodernism, hypermodernity. He talks about it a lot, or supermodernity, whichever word it is. He talks about this stuff a lot. There's a lot of books on it. You can read this stuff for yourself. But I'm just sending you receipts. I'm telling you that hey, we live in this type of world. You don't believe me? Here's a receipt. You don't believe me further? Okay, well then just go to Days of Noah, go to Spiritual Logic, go to people like that, on the internet, and they'll tell you the same stuff. There's a circle of people that are telling you this stuff, and it's a pretty big circle. It's a lot of us. And you can't say we're all wrong. Somebody has to be right. It can't be 10 people wrong and none right. No. It could be probably like 8 people wrong and 2 people are right. And if 2 people are right, even if one person is right, then they all must be right because they're all talking about the same thing. So we never had democratic institutions. What we have always had are technological institutions. Going back to the beginning of time, from when the Dark Aeon created this planet. The use of technology to track and monitor citizens' activities, even in the name of security, can lead to a chilling effect on freedom of expression and dissent. Dissent. The expression or holding of opinions at variance with those previously commonly or officially held. There was no dissent from this view, or dissident, or however you say that word. I'm botching words today. Hold or express opinions that are at variance with those previously commonly or officially expressed. I just wanted to have you look at this word, because I know a lot of you are sitting there scratching your head like, what's that word? I don't understand. So I wanted to show you. I wanted to send you receipts. You can't come and tell me that this, is not that and that's not this. When I say it to you, you can't, because I'm just going to go here and give you the definition, show you the receipt. And then for those of you who are like, well, the internet's fake, that's not the real thing, then actually go to your dictionary, your physical dictionary from the bookstore that you got it from, or the library that you checked it out from, and look for this word and see if it doesn't give you the same exact thing. See if it's not a noun and a verb. And if it is, are you still going to say the internet is full of shit? Or are you going to say, oh, well, then this book is full of shit? Oh, that's right. This book came out in 2005. Yeah. Okay, then go to a book that is older than that. And if it has the same shit, then what are you going to say? Oh, that they've always tweaked this. Yeah, really? Really? The use of technology to track and monitor citizens' activities, even in the name of security, can lead to a chilling effect on freedom of expression and dissident. Okay. All right. Let's go here. And this we're going to get into this figure skater right here. We're going to get into this LGBTQ thing, because it has to do with this techno-fascism world that we live in. This this world we live in today, this techno world. This is a part of it. You see what they're giving you right here on the front page, but we're gonna stick with right here. Track and monitor citizens. Okay. I mean, this is 7 years ago, but we're just gonna scroll through and we're just gonna let's just see what the horse's mouth has to say. Let's see what the horse's mouth has to say. Let's see. You know, let's see. And actually, I got something here for you. So let's listen from the evil side and what they're doing to you. This is from ABC 11. Now, of course, like I said, they're telling you the truth of what they're doing. Like they're going to tell you, like, hey, look, we're tracking you. Look, we have police communicating, with these devices to you. We can see your every move. They're telling you, all the evil things they're doing, but they're just not going to give you the truth of who you truly are, where you came from, and how to use your powers. But let's see. Let's listen from the horse's mouth. Let's get right to it. Okay?
Whether you're here, or at one of these, it doesn't matter. This can find you. The common name, Stingray. Technically, a cell site simulator. First developed for military use, it's...
First of all, and not all the time, but it goes to the military first, and then it trickles down into society. I'm going to give you an example here. Okay? So, I've been riding bicycles my whole entire life. I have seen like everything, just about everything in the bicycle world. When I was a child, if you went to Walmart, you went to Target, Kmart, Big Five, Dick's Sporting Goods, Sport Chalet, those type of places that weren't bike shops, but they did sell bicycles, but more or less Walmart and Target and Kmart, and you checked out their bicycles, you would see that they had technology that was inferior. It was technology that was very low. It's why the bicycles were anywhere from, I would say, $80, for a kid's bicycle, $50, all the way on up to $200. And what you started to notice over the years is that the higher up technologies that would come from your Treks, your Specialized, your intense bicycles, your Cannondales, Conago bicycles. They started to trickle down into these big box store bikes. And now you see a bunch of people online doing reviews of bicycles from Walmart that are $500. Whereas before, Walmart used to not have a $500 bicycle. Their most expensive bicycle a long, long time ago was like $200. So, not all the time, but most of the time, it starts with the military. It starts with the highest level of military, and it trickles down until it gets to the public. Meaning you and I, where we could purchase it at a Walmart or off of Amazon.com. That's why they mentioned the military. That's where it came from. So it trickled down from the military, and then it came to the FBI, then the police. And then an adult who could buy it off of Amazon or Walmart, Amazon.com, or who could go to a physical store like Walmart, and then down to a child. Because they will make child toys of these things, which do the same thing, but they'll just call them toys. Let's continue.
Developed for military use, it's made its way into local law enforcement. It can track a person down to the room they're in if they have their cell phone on them. Stingrays turn these into homing devices, and that's just the beginning.
These are tracking devices. This is emitting a signal. This is GPS.
Mike Mino with the North Carolina branch of the ACLU has been watching the spread of stingrays for years.
It's my understanding that the software that a lot of these devices use is capable of capturing things like your text messages, the numbers you're calling and receiving calls from. We know for sure they're getting people's location.
Here's how it works. Cell phones are always trying to connect to nearby cell towers.
They can get all the information they want off of you. Data mining, data harvesting, harvesting of your soul. This is nothing new. And at the time this technology was out, there were way better technologies than this one. They just weren't released yet. Because if they release them real soon, really quick, you'll catch on to their plan, and then their plan will be foiled.
A stingray acts like a cell tower decoy. In what's called a man-in-the-middle attack, it tricks cell phones into thinking it's the nearest cell tower, phones connect to the stingray, and police can access a range of personal information.
You see? And that's been going on since the early days of cell phones. In the 1970s, 80s, when people had their early cell phones and pagers, early car phones, police officers, they could do the same thing. It was very primitive, but they had the technology to basically trick you into thinking that's the nearest cell tower. They essentially, and that's why here, that's why here you see a van. You see, and it's a white van. There goes that stereotype of the law enforcement in a white van doing a stakeout. I mean, vans aren't necessarily white. The vans they use, they could be any color. They could look like just your average, everyday neighbor's van, and you wouldn't know. You would not know whether they have windows or not. You would not know. And now with AI automated systems, they could just park a van and just let the computer do the work, and nobody has to be in the van. They could just leave the van there empty. You know, no humans in the van. And so basically, and they've been able to do that for a very long time. Not in the last, it's not like they've only been able to do that in the last, 6 years. No, they've been able to do that for a very long time. So they can trick you. Let's replay this part again.
Stingray acts like a cell tower decoy. In what's called a stingray acts like a cell tower decoy.
Hold on.
It works. Cell phones are always trying to connect to nearby cell towers. A stingray acts like a cell tower decoy. In what's called a man-in-the-middle attack, it tricks cell phones into thinking it's the nearest cell tower, phones connect to the stingray, and police can access a range of personal information.
It's a man in the middle between you and the cell tower. But see, you have to be reminded that they are also spinning this as, your service provider can't do that and send the information to the police. So now the police have to do it on their own. Your service provider can do the same thing. They are doing the same thing. So whether it's police or your service provider or the government or your next door neighbor, it doesn't matter. It's being done to you. Doesn't matter who's doing it. What's being done is being done. It's just that in this case, your service provider. See, the way it works here is you have a cell tower within your town, your network, somewhere next to you, right? So you're in your neighborhood and you're trying to call your friend across town, because you want to meet up for a cup of coffee. And the cell tower that's somewhere near your house, basically is transmitting that call, right? And it's going through your service provider. It's going through that cell tower, T-Mobile cell tower, AT&T, Boost Mobile, whatever. And let's say the cops need something, from that conversation. Well, the service provider is going to have to give it to the police. But because you signed an agreement, because there's all this stuff, they can't just hand it over. I mean, sure, they can get a warrant. Sure, they can go through a legal process, but they can't just, here you go, because it's private information. So-called private, because there's no such thing as privacy. True privacy doesn't exist. So the police have to go to the service provider. They have to call, and they have to basically do all these workarounds to get it. So what law enforcement has come up with was a way to set up a van, set up some type of vehicle, or be in some type of building next to where you're calling, next to your area, and use a computer, use their own type of device. So instead of your cell phone going from the tower to your friend, it goes from the van or the house they're in to your friend, and then they can get it right on the spot. And they're doing it without a warrant. They're doing it without you knowing. They are essentially doing this without your permission. But they're telling you they're doing this. But see, even though they tell you that they are doing this, you don't know when it's being done. You don't know in your neighborhood or on the street, somewhere in your town. You don't know what vehicle is, or what building is being used. You don't know when it's happening, but you know it's happening because they're telling you right here. But you actually, you don't know. Like, say right now you're at the coffee shop. You met up with your friend and you're talking. You don't know which vehicle out there, which building, which human being is monitoring your conversation. You can look all around. You can look, but you'll never find it because they work very secretively. They do a very good job at being secret. But you know what? They don't even have to do this anymore. Because you have a cell phone within your hand that is always connected to something. Even if you turn it off, it's still connected. It's not just going to your service provider anymore. Now it's going to the NSA. Now it's going to Palantir. It's going to some, agency, some technocratic company outside of the country that does not belong to the United States. It doesn't belong to any country. It's just, of course, it belongs to planet Earth because it's on planet Earth, but it works for itself. It's not governed by any laws other than, let's say, maritime laws, or it makes up its own laws. So they don't have to do this anymore, but they still do this because there are issues. There's mountains, there's trees, there's buildings in the way. So they will always have to have boots on the ground. Whether it be in some building or some vehicle, they will need somebody on the ground doing the grunt work, homing in on a certain location that they otherwise may not get using other methods, except the van or being in a house, where they sit there with binoculars, the old school type of thing. They still do that today. But what they do is they make it seem like everything is normal. Like, oh, this person lives here. They're your friendly neighbor. When really, at whatever time of day or night, someone's up there, on the computer doing some work.
But they don't just get intel on one phone. Every phone nearby is forced to divert to the Stingray. Calls are passed on to a real cell tower. Data scooped up stays with police.
When you ask them why they're using it, they'll say, well, we're targeting certain individuals, but the nature of the technology is so expansive that you cannot use this without countless innocent people having their data captured as well.
The I-Team has learned at least 3 law enforcement agencies in the Triangle have been using cell site simulators, but they don't like to talk about it, and may not be allowed to. These 2 purchase orders show Raleigh and Durham police bought variations of the Stingray within the last 10 years. Raleigh's purchase order...
See, within the last 10 years. And when was this video made? This video was made 7 years ago. So you see, from 7 years ago, they said in the last 10 years. 7 years ago, they said in the last 10 years. 2025, 7 years ago. And then from that 7 years ago, let's see, what was it? 2025, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. So 2018 is when this video was made, right? But then they said in the last 10 years. So count 10 years back from 2018. That's 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 2008. 2008. And it goes further back than that. Because they could do that shit in the 90s already. It was a lot slower. It wasn't as accurate. But they could do it. The technology was there. And so could... And they could do it in the 1960s. The military had the capabilities of doing this. The KGB and the CIA, they had those capabilities a long time ago. They could tap into landlines. They could tap into, the early type of wireless devices. I mean, walkie-talkies are wireless practically. Like even walkie-talkies of the 80s, they were wireless. Like they didn't require you to plug it into something. So this is nothing new. It's just now there's a more advanced form of it. Through applications, through everybody having a cell phone. Let's continue.
Order obtained by the I-Team 2 years ago shows the department paid more than $120,000 for the device. Separate documents obtained by the ACLU showed Durham spent nearly twice that. In spite of those purchase orders, both departments claimed not to be using one when the I-Team asked recently. Raleigh says they stopped using theirs because of outdated technology. With the Stingray, though, secrecy is part of the deal.
They claim that they're not using it. The reason why they claim they're not using it is, first of all, they're just like, nothing to see here. Shoo shoo. They're like, where'd you get that information? You're just another conspiracy whack. Put on your tinfoil hat. Lightning's about to strike. Put on your tinfoil hat. Because lightning's about to strike because we're about to zap your head with something that doesn't exist. Like literally, they are using it. There's documents, there's evidence of it. What are they gonna say? Oh, that was forged, that was fake. Someone just printed that out yesterday. And then you see the device right there, and they're like, that's not it. Oh, yeah, it's called a Stingray, but that's not the Stingray. Someone just whipped that up in 2 seconds. That's not. Really? Lying sack of shit. Lying sack of burritos is what they are.
Durham's contract with the device's manufacturer includes a strict non-disclosure clause, not just about the Stingray, but about the agreement itself and its subject matter.
There is such secrecy around this, and I think it's because it's so powerful.
I have a cell site simulator, and we do use it.
Wake Sheriff Donnie Harrison is the only current law enforcement officer we could find here or elsewhere willing to talk even a little about the device and how it's used.
See, not all of them will talk about it, but there's a few that will. And the ones that will, I'm not going to say they're completely on our side. I'm going to say they're ones who at least want the public notified about this stuff. They want to, they're at least the ones that they want to notify the public, hey, we're going to be using this. Just to let you know. Is this okay? So I'm glad that there are some people speaking out about it, but they're only going to go so far because then again, they don't want to lose their position. Which, who gives a shit? You should talk about it fully. Who gives a shit if you lose your position? Because once you talk about it fully, it's out there and then the public knows and then they can start their process of getting that shit destroyed. Out of here. Once the public has been informed, there's nothing they can do. I mean, there is, but they know if they do that, oh, that shit's, and they try to cover it up, oh, it's not going to look very pretty on planet Earth. If they try to kill the people because they've been informed, shoot them. Shoot. If they try to shoot the people because they've been informed, it's going to be very ugly on their part. So, what are they going to do? Hit them with fines? A homeless person is not going to care if you fine them because they don't have any money. So what can you hit them with? Jail time? Go to jail for speaking? Shoot them for speaking? Yeah, give me a break.
Used.
It's a very useful tool that we use, not only for the bad guys, but for looking people that are lost, looking people that say they're going to commit suicide. Sometimes we have used them for children that's missing that have phones.
Not just for criminals, but for people that want to commit suicide and for lost children. See, they're throwing that out there because they want you to be like, oh, you're going to find my lost child. Okay, yeah, I'm in support of this product. But that's not what it's for. It's not for looking for children. It's not for catching criminals. It's basically so you do not go to the coffee shop. They want to control you. You say, I'm going to meet, you call your friend, let's meet up at the coffee shop. The cops come in and say, no, you ain't going to the coffee shop. That's not allowed. You can't have fun. You want to commit suicide, they'll let you commit suicide. If there's a lost child, they're not going to look for it. They don't give a shit. They'd rather that and the children don't get lost. Children are taken away by the system, by their evil system. It's called human trafficking. It's a big business. They don't stop human trafficking, which are criminals. So it's not for catching criminals. It's for controlling your life. It's so that way they can listen in. Hey, this guy wants to have fun. Oh, whoop, whoop. Excuse me, sir. You're not allowed to have fun. We are the police that have to take your fun away. We are not the fun police. We are the opposite of the fun police. You are now being arrested and monitored 24/7 because you wanted to have fun. We caught you on the cell phone saying, I'm going to have fun today. I'm going to a coffee shop with a friend. That's not allowed, sir. Now, if you were on the cell phone and you were basically talking to your friend and say, hey, let's be LGBTQ. Let's eat let's go eat some GMO foods. Hey, I feel like smearing shit all over my face and walking around, the neighborhood. The cops, the FBI, CIA, they're going to be sitting in their vans like, man, this is boring. This is just boring. There's nothing on the radio. There's nothing today that we can catch because it's just boring. No, it's because you are essentially saying the things they want you to say that is okay to say. That is not fun. I mean, it's fun to them. I mean, if they were sitting in a van in the neighborhood and like the neighborhood was just all gay, it was just a bunch of gay men, they would leave that neighborhood immediately. They'd be like, what the fuck? It's just a bunch of gay men kissing and having sex. That's all we hear. And talking about the gay life. We're not needed here. We need to go to the straight neighborhood where everybody is straight. Where it's a neighborhood where the families are husbands and wives, a man and a woman. That's what we need to catch. That's criminal. We can't have men and women together. It has to be 2 men or 2 women. Or transgenders. Transgender humans. They wouldn't get paid for going into a gay neighborhood. They get paid going into a straight neighborhood and censoring those people and catching straight people. Because they're like, those are the criminals. So yeah, when he says it's for catching criminals, yeah, what he means is it's for catching the good people. It's for catching someone who's just buying broccoli at a grocery store and and stuff like that, because he's not buying the GMO food. It's like you have a piece of steak in front of you, and then you have cyanide in front of you, and you move your hand towards the steak, your hand gets slapped. You move your hand towards the cyanide, your hand doesn't get slapped. Total control.
And basically, that's all all I'm going to say about it.
Harrison told us Wake County has had...
And that's all he's going to say about it. Yeah, because his like, oh, my job is on the line. And he didn't even say much. He just basically said, look, we're putting it to good use. It's not for nefarious purposes. End of story. Wrong. It's used for nefarious purposes.
A cell site simulator since 2008. He insists...
Oh, let's bring it back.
About all I'm going to say about it.
Harrison told us Wake County has had a cell site simulator since 2008. He insists they're...
What did I tell you? 2008. Because this video was 7 years ago, was it not? And they said 7 years ago down here. And then I said from 7 years ago, go back 10 years. I counted with you 2008. They've had these since 2008. But see, they're reporting on it in 2008, right? No, they're reporting on it 7 years ago. And this could be an older video than 7 years ago. This video could have come out in 2010. But literally, well, actually, no, it couldn't have come out in 2010 because they said 10 years ago. So literally, it did come out 7 years ago. But what I'm saying is, the technology is older than 2008.
Cell site simulator since 2008. He insists they're always within the law and always get a warrant first. But there's very little public documentation of those warrants or of the use of stingrays in general here or in any of the cities in which we looked.
But
there's very little information of them. Let's see. Let's take it back. Let's take it back here. Okay. Let's take it back. I'm gonna tell you something. Okay.
Harrison told us Wake County has had a cell site simulator since 2008. He insists they're always within the law and always get a warrant first.
They're always within the law and they always get a warrant first. That's false information. They don't use warrants and they're not within the law at all. They don't care about the law. The law, laws are only in, laws are only valid when enforced, and they don't enforce laws. They don't use their own laws. And they don't get warrants for these things. That's why there's no records of them showing that they're within the law and that they got warrants for it. It's not that they had records and they destroyed them. They just didn't do it in the first place. So that's total bullshit. When an officer tells you I'm within the law, I have a warrant, you know, I or not that I have a warrant, but like I use warrants all the time. I get warrants all the time. I'm within the law. When an officer tells you that, when the majority of officers tell you that, law enforcement, they're lying to you. Lying to you out of their asses.
But there's very little public documentation of those warrants or of the use of stingrays in general here or in any of the cities in which we looked.
But no, we don't like to talk about it. You know, when a general goes in battle, he doesn't give out his battle plans.
It's the classic question.
When a general goes into battle, he doesn't give out his battle plans. They don't like to talk about it. Yeah, because when you give out something, you are essentially telling your enemy how to defeat yourself. I mean, you're telling the enemy how to defeat you, and they don't want to be defeated. They don't want to lose. They want to continue on with their totalitarianism. They want to continue on with their techno-fascism. They want to continue on with their surveillance state. They don't want it torn down. So he's only going to give you something like, oh, we use it for good intentions, end of story. Yeah, bullshit.
Safety or privacy? Law enforcement will tell you these things get bad guys off the street and help good people.
Okay, let's see. Let's take it back.
Doesn't give out his battle plans.
It's the classic question. Safety or privacy? Law enforcement will tell you these things get bad guys off the street and help good people out in the meantime. Critics say we just don't know. And we don't. By design.
No, we actually do know. And we do know by design. Safety or privacy? First of all, privacy does not exist. Second of all, safety? Safety only exists if you do it yourself. So, for instance, you're out in this world, you carry a gun, someone's, going to attack you. You defend yourself, the person is gone. That's safety. Now, somebody else fending off an attack from you using a gun, that's not safety. That is not safety at all. Not in my eyes. That's just not safety, period. You keep yourself safe. Nobody else can keep you safe. Nobody else can keep you safe. You keep yourself safe, first of all. You keep yourself from jumping off a bridge. Yeah, okay. You want to jump off a bridge, somebody could pull your shirt back and be like, nope, you're not jumping off. But the minute they let go of your shirt, you can go jump off. They can't keep you from jumping off. You can keep yourself. You can tell yourself, you know what? I'm not jumping off today. And then you walk off and go home. Nobody else can do that for you. You do it yourself. So safety can only be a thing if it's done by yourself. If it's me, myself, and I. Privacy doesn't exist. And privacy does not exist because there is a voice in your head. I want you to do this. I want you to say something without speaking. Say something in silence. Who heard that? Who heard that? Only you did. And that voice inside your head. So was it private? Was what you said in your head private? Nope. Because that voice in your head, that thing in your head, that spirit, that subconsciousness in your head heard it. They know exactly what you said, so it's not private. So there's no such thing as privacy. Any which way you spin it, no such thing as privacy. But safety, nah, only if it's done by yourself.
As long as we do it lawfully, I don't care what people say. My job is to keep people safe.
The public needs to know more.
Your job is to keep people safe. You can't keep people safe And you're not doing it lawfully because you don't adhere to laws. Although your job is supposed to be to enforce the laws, but what laws are you enforcing? Oh, you're enforcing laws such as these technocratic laws, these techno-fascist laws, the surveillance laws. That's what you're enforcing by using the device. So you're enforcing the law of spying. Basically, hey, we're going to enforce spying. But you're not going to enforce the law that says you cannot shoot people at random. Oh, you'll let criminals shoot people all they want, but you won't let someone go down the street and get a cup of coffee.
I think this is something that the courts need to know more about. There are real questions about whether a technology that soaks up innocent people's data can be used constitutionally.
And ABC is just a big corporation that gives you the news, so-called news. I mean, it is news. I mean, you did learn something. They did show you, what's going on. Let's watch probably 4 minutes of this and see what this guy has to say. Secretly watching you. Lawyer, how cops use cell phone simulators to track your every move. Let's take a listen.
Whether you are at home, at church, or at the bar, cops may be tracking your every move. How? Cell site simulator technology. And this technology is really good at finding you. Like many law enforcement technology applications, cell site simulators were first developed by the military. But once law enforcement figured out how powerful they were, they began to figure out how to use it to track your every move. How effective is this technology? These cell site simulators can actually track you down to the very room you are in if you have a cell phone, which everyone does. To simplify what this technology does, think of it as technology that takes your cell phone and everyone else's cell phones and turns it into homing devices. Some people have referred to this technology as either stingray devices or hailstorm devices because those are the names that many of the manufacturers have given to this type of technology.
And think about those names right there, Stingray and Hailstorm. Now, a lot of you there's actually a weapon in Star Wars called a Hellstorm. In many various video games, there's weapons called Hellstorms. So, and Stingrays, I mean, what do Stingrays have? They have a weapon on them. So literally, it's just a weapon, is what it is. Because they named them after, 1, a weapon, 2, an animal that has a weapon that stings you. Because not only are they getting data and information off of your cell phone, but they're also stinging you. They're also doing other things with it to your brain, to your heart, to your body, your soul, your mind, your spirit, your subconsciousness, your consciousness. They're doing stuff to you. But of course, they're just going to tell you it's a simple device for track and tracing a cell phone. A simple conversation tracking device that the police can use or the military, when that's not all it's used for. What did I tell you? Hellstorm missile launcher. Let me see here. crap. This is not a good... It's a weapon in video games. Let me see here. I mean, so they named it after weapons. So essentially, they're using a weapon on you. It's not a gun. It's not a tank, but it's still a weapon and it's doing stuff to you that you do not see using the various frequencies.
Whether you realize it or not, your cell phone is sending out tracking and GPS signals in order for your phone to be able to operate. This technology allows cops to capture your cell phone text messages as well as incoming calls and numbers you are dialing out for outgoing calls, as well as other intimate details you have on your smartphone. Let's break this down. Let's say you're sitting at an NFL football game. And as you're sitting there watching the game, your cell phone is constantly tracking, looking for the nearest cell tower so that it can maintain your cell service. Now I want you to imagine a police officer that wants to track your every move through your cell phone.
It doesn't matter what app you use. It doesn't matter. Like, you can use Session, you can use Telegram, you can use WhatsApp, you can just use the regular cell phone. You can use Google, whatever. You can use LinkedIn, all this stuff. They are all tracing and tracking you. They are all sending it to a big database because it's basically training large AI language models, large AI models, large AI data centers. And not just AI, but human data centers too, because humans will still exist in the world of AI and robots and will still be doing a lot of grunt work because computers will need humans to operate them always. And to construct them, create them. AI is not going to completely take over like you see in a lot of science fiction films or just a lot of movies in general. It doesn't have to be science fiction. So it doesn't matter what device you use, what app you use, they're all doing the same thing, achieving the same goal. It's just the reason why we have like this guy, okay, right here, telling you that, only this portion is doing this and that. No, everything is doing that. That's because he is not informed that everything is doing it. Because I go off of the everything. I don't go off of just this, this, and this. Sometimes I will, just to have you understand that, hey, right now, this right here is what is being used against you. But then, at the end, I will show you it's not just this. It's also everything else because it comes full circle because it's everything on the table.
Let's say that he has a Stingray or Hailstorm device mounted in his Yukon, and now he's looking to try to track your phone. The Stingray device acts as a cell tower decoy and tricks your phone into believing it is the closest cell tower for your cell service. Once your phone dials in on the Stingray device, cops can now access most of your personal information and all your text message and outgoing and incoming calls. Here's the crazy part. Not only does the Stingray device trick your phone into connecting to the Stingray, but it also tricks anyone else's phones within its reach to also connect to the Stingray device. What does this mean? That means the cops can now get access to any other phones that are tricked to the decoy of the Stingray device. You say, wait a minute, I'm confused. What if I actually take a phone call? How does that work? Well, here's where the Stingray gets really tricky. It actually sends the actual communication and the cell phone call to the true cell phone tower so that you never lose any service. But at the same time, it's gathering all your data and all your information so that the cops can track you and know exactly where you're at. Now,
that's essentially what it's doing for that stuff. Okay? So literally, they can manipulate the cell call, the incoming call or the call you made. They can track and trace you. They can, they can divert your call to their little cell tower that they have, so only they can listen to it. They can make it to where, like he just explained, if you have an incoming call, okay, we'll let you use the normal cell tower, but in conjunction with our tower. So that means it's going to be dual. You're going to be using theirs and ours because we want to listen in to this call that's coming to and from that big cell tower.
cops justify the use of this technology by claiming they're only targeting certain individuals' phones. But unfortunately, the technology doesn't work that way. Instead, these cell site simulator devices, they trick everybody's cell phone within its reach, and they are now able to gather everyone's personal information.
Okay, he's spitting the same shit as the last video. But you see, it's nothing new. Surveillance, ooh. What's that? They show the classical, Chinese surveillance thing where everyone's being tracked, that way. And then they show the HAL 9000. I mean, Flea. That's funny. 4 months ago. I'm gonna watch that later. So this is nothing new. It's been going on, track and monitor citizens. Here, I'll show you. I'm going to show you some stuff. You're going to like it. Let's see here. Just bear with me. Hold on a minute, guys. Okay. Uh, I'm going to show you some stuff. And first we're going to hold on. Huh. Okay. Now, right now we are at the Internet of Things. Okay. Um, the Internet of Things is your cell phone, your TV, your car, anything that connects to an internet that is a thing outside of the body, something that you can physically hold in your hand, like a cell phone, for instance. That is a device, part of the Internet of Things. Okay. For those of you who have some difficulties understanding what I'm saying, I'll type it up for you. The Internet of Things, IoT, refers to the network of physical objects, devices, vehicles, appliances, and other items embedded with sensors, software, and network connectivity that enables them to collect and exchange data. Physical objects, that's what I was saying. Physical. Okay? And basically, right now we are in the world of physical objects. Everything is physical, is it not? I mean, your cell phone, your video game console, your car, the clothes you wear, they're physical, right? You can use your five senses, your touch, smell, feel, you can touch them, you can smell them, you can feel them, they're physical. Okay? So, Internet of Things, IoT. Okay? Now, what comes after the Internet of Things? I'm going to show you. It's called the Internet of Bodies, IOB. The Internet of Bodies refers to a network of interconnected devices that interact with a network of interconnected devices that interact with, monitor, and even influence the human body. It is an extension of the Internet of Things, where devices are embedded in or on the human body to collect data and potentially alter body functions. So the Internet of Bodies is just the Internet of Things, but in your skin, inside your body. And we already have Internet of Bodies. We've actually had them for a long time. Like those pacemakers, those, like a lot of the things that they have been putting into human bodies, I would say since the 2000s, like the pacemaker, that's something. That's part of the Internet of Bodies. It's a physical device that's inside your body, okay? And stuff like that. So this is where we're headed. Because you could say that from 1900 to 2025, we have been living in the Internet of Things. Okay? And then from the next point to the next point on, we will be in the Internet of Bodies. Okay? So I've come to this Reddit post here, which talks about smart contact lenses. Now, first of all, I want to say something here. Okay? You are not supposed to put anything over your eyes. You're not supposed to put glasses over your eyes, nothing. Your eyes are not supposed to be shielded from anything that is positive. Anything that is negative, okay, that's a different story, but you don't shield it from the negative stuff by putting something over your eye. As a matter of fact, you want to put something over your eye, something natural, you use your own hand, or you shut it using your own eyelids. Natural. It's your body. It's your body's natural way of protecting the eyes. You do not need glasses. Look directly at the sun. I mean, the sun is fake. You can just tell by the shape of it. Okay, but you know what I mean. Look directly up at the sky. It's healthy for you. Look at the trees. Look at a beautiful woman. If you're a man, look at a handsome man if you're a woman. And stuff like that. Look, you need to, your eyes need to see. They don't need something over them and stuff like that. You're not supposed to have that. The invention of glasses is older than Benjamin Franklin. It actually dates back to the Chinese, around the 2nd century of China, ancient China. So literally, I mean, this technology is fallen technology. A lot of us know that. A lot of you don't, because you're retarded. And because you just don't know. And you don't know that you don't know. So now we are moving on to this. Contacts aren't new. Contacts are not new. People have been wearing contacts since the invention of contacts. But now they're just going to be electronic contacts. So all these smart glasses we have now, that's nothing. They actually don't even work. They smart goggles, smart glasses, smart this, smart, that's nothing. This is where we're headed. They provide a video for you here, and we're going to take a look at this video, and we're going to see what it's all about. They're going to tell you the truth. The horse is speaking here. This is from the horse's mouth.
Today we put the Mojo lens on my eye, tested it, and it worked. It is a historic moment for Mojo
We wore the first feature-complete prototype of our Mojo lens on eye, and so a lot has happened from a technology perspective, and from an engineering and development perspective and a clinical perspective to bring it all together into this one product.
We actually wore on eye a contact lens that represents a prototype of product, something that has all the features in it that we think is important for product, from the display to the motion tracking and so on.
If you take kind of our display technology, I mean, we are kind of way ahead of everybody else. We can say the same thing about the wireless radio. We can say the same thing about eye tracking. These are individual pieces of technology that is very unique to us.
I think what I'm most proud of in this achievement is that we've demonstrated a whole new user interface, a whole new way of controlling content and getting access to information by just using your eyes. Being able to use your eyes to lock in on content and to scan text and to see graphics floating in space in front of you.
It's not just about getting the display running, it's not just about getting the radio running, but it's getting all of them together.
I think from here going forward, the plan always has been to build this prototype of product, to incorporate all or as many of the features that we know are important for product, incorporate them all into a real system.
Today's milestone is just the first step in many to prove the potential of Mojo Lens, the things that it's going to be able to do for people, whether it's giving them the right information at the right time, or eventually being able to show them information about themselves and their physical and mental health.
Well, we like to say that seeing is believing, because
They always have to come with the health angle. There's the health angle. Let's continue.
there's a lot of people that just need to see it with their own eyes.
Yeah, this is science fiction. We can just show you.
I mean, they just said, "Oh, it's just science fiction." You mean what it is that science fiction became science fact. They came with the health angle. They said, "Oh, you'll be able to track and trace your own health, monitor your own health." You know, because like, who doesn't want to be healthy? Who doesn't want to monitor their health? But there's a natural way of going about that. You don't need technology to track your own health. You see, the human body is going to reject this. I rejected glasses. I stopped wearing prescription glasses after 8th grade. Like, I only wore prescription glasses for 1 year. My whole year of 8th grade. I mean, when I was in school. As soon as it hit, what's it called? Summertime? Before 9th grade, I rejected it. I kept the glasses as a reminder of how stupid I was, retarded I was, for wearing the glasses. The prescription glasses. Then I started to wear sunglasses because of the fashion, you know, and oh, me and my girlfriend wear sunglasses. But then I rejected those. The only thing I do, because it's a safety, because I'm you know, it's my own safety, my own precautions, is when I ride a bicycle, I put on sunglasses to ride a bicycle, because stuff flies in your eyes and I don't want something flying in my eye and poking my eye out and me being blind. And then when it's colder, I'll wear like just the normal see-through off-road moto goggles. Okay? Dirt biking goggles. That's it. When I ride a bicycle, which is rare. I mean, I ride bicycles a lot, but it's, you know, that's the only time. And you know, not all the time, but more than half. Other than that, I don't wear glasses. And so, and really, most of the time I don't even wear them, because like, still, even though I want to protect my eyes, I need that naturalness to be there for my eyes. So this stuff is way worse than glasses. and they're proud of it. You're not supposed to have pride, first of all, but they're going to be literally like raving that, oh, this person will be able to take a phone call, be able to send messages, read a message, send and receive messages, check their health, their heart rate. It's going to be able to tell them, don't go that way, go this way, because there's danger over there. You mean it's going to be able to control what they see and what they don't see, what they can and can't see, what they should and they shouldn't see. It's going to tell them, you're not allowed to see that. You're allowed to see that. You're a woman. Oh, you can't see that man over there. You can't see his penis. You can't see him. Oh, but you can see that transgender over there or that woman. Yeah, go ahead. See that. We allow you to see that. What does it say? It is certainly the future, but right now it's just super rough. It's like looking at a car-sized computer in 1975 and being able to say, yeah, it's going to be 50 times more powerful and fit on the desk in every other house in America in 10 years. True. True. Energy consumption, power, heat dissipation would all be very limited, and I doubt they'd be particularly comfortable of easy to use. I mean, really? Like, and look right here. Mojo. Let's actually go to look at Mojo Smart Vision. The power of micro LED as a platform. Mojo built a set of core competencies. Optics, quantum dots, LEDs, silicon architecture that disrupt multiple market segments. Okay, yeah, so micro display, large format display, AI infrastructure, other non-display. Oh, look at this. Use case for micro display. Okay, and then value added. AR glasses, HMDs, etc. Value added. Size and brightness. And then for large format displays, use case, auto TV, PCs, phones, etc. Value, okay. AI infrastructure, data communication, power and bandwidth. Other non-displays, bioimaging, bio. Right there. 3D printing, etc. Resolution and brightness for the value added. And it says right here, optics, micro lens that capture up to 5 times more light, quantum dots, high performance red dot, green quantum dots, LEDs, tiny and efficient GaN non-silicon LEDs, silicon architecture, 300 millimeter CMOS analog and digital circuits. Right there, right here. They just told you everything in about 2 seconds, or most of everything. Mojo Vision Micro LED as the world's smallest and densest dynamic display. Mojo Vision Micro LED as short distance optical. Mojo Vision Micro LED as short distance optical data interconnects for AI infrastructure. So right now we are at a time where AI is exploding. We're in the wild west of AI, right? So what's that? Oh, okay. Let's see. And so a lot of companies now are coming out with products for AI. AI this, AI that. But is it really for the AI or is it for the human being? Is it to turn the human being into an AI being? Mojo Vision's talented team of engineers and scientists have created the world's smallest and densest micro LED display technology. Using leading edge semiconductor technology, Mojo is building micro LEDs that will disrupt the 160 billion plus display industry. The micro LEDs of the future will be able to deliver high resolution, bright and brilliant colors with low powerful consumption. This new technology will enable new AR, VR products, smart wearables, and more dramatically improve smart wearables and more, and dramatically improve display quality and existing products like TVs, monitors, and smartphones, and eye contacts and glasses. And when they physically replace your physical eye with an electronic eye. Let's get to that. Let's get to electronic eyes. A cybernetic eye implant, also known as a bionic eye or visual prosthesis, is a surgically implanted device designed to restore some degree of sight to individuals with severe vision loss due to retinal degeneration. That right there is the ultimate goal. Right now, we are at the stage of Mojo. Smart contacts. Okay? But the end goal is to surgically take out your eye and replace it with a cybernetic eye. In the 1800s, when we had the Civil War here in America. Now, this stuff I'm talking about right now that I'm going to talk about goes beyond the 1800s. Leonardo da Vinci, and we can go beyond him. We can go back to Aristotle. When the Greeks were coming up with prosthetic legs, mechanical legs for the body, Leonardo da Vinci was coming up with some of these ideas. Then in the 1800s, we actually had one peg leg guys where they were using some type of mechanical leg in place of the one that got blown off during the Civil War. Those are the precursors to the electronic legs, the ones we use now, like the soldiers that come back from the first Iraqi war, 2003, 2006, 2005. What did they have? They had these electronically functioning, okay, arms and legs, prosthetics. For those of you who've seen Star Wars, where Luke Skywalker, he's in that room and he has the electronic stuff right here in his arm and he's, going like this and he's looking at it. That's exactly what they want to do with your eyes. They want to take out your eyes and they want to put a cybernetic eye on it. Why? Because a cybernetic eye will only allow you to see what they want you to see. Yeah. Basically, they want a cybernetic human. I have a book that I haven't started reading yet. I'm going to get it and I'm going to show you. Just the front cover of this book says it all. Life 3.0, being human in the age of artificial intelligence. Max Tegmark. This is a compelling guide to the challenges and choices in our quest for a great future of life, intelligence and consciousness on Earth and beyond. Elon Musk, founder and CEO and CTO of SpaceX, and founder and co-founder of Tesla Incorporated. That's what Elon Musk said. In this authoritative and eye-opening book, Max Tegmark describes and illuminates the recent path-breaking advances in artificial intelligence and how it is poised to overtake human intelligence. How will AI affect crime, war, justice, jobs, society, and our very sense of being human? Will machines eventually outsmart us at all tasks, replacing humans on the job market? How can we make future AI systems more robust so that they do what we want without malfunctioning or getting hacked or taking over altogether? Will AI help life flourish like never before or give us more power than we can handle? What sort of a future do we want? This book empowers you to join what may be the most important conversation of our time. It doesn't shy away from the full range of viewpoints or from the most controversial issues, from superintelligence to meaning consciousness and the ultimate physical limits on life in the cosmos. Being human in the age of artificial intelligence, Life 3.0. Why did I bring out that book that I haven't read yet, that I just wanted to give you kind of a preview of what it was? So when I do read it, at least you kind of gain an understanding of, and you kind of have at least a base of, hey, I've heard about this before. Oh, okay, all right. Why? You see, when I saw that book used, or I think I got it off of Amazon or whatever, when I saw that book, I was like, this is an important book for today's time. Very important. And an important book for me because, see, being a child of the 90s and the 2000s, I grew up in this technocratic, techno-fascist world. I'm not a techno-fascist myself. I'm not a technocratic person myself. But I am in the age of techno, like the techno age. I mean, I'm an Aquarius, so the age of Aquarius is upon us. So people like me, we're actually, there's some importance there for us. We're going to have great powers. Our powers are going to be used more and more. Some of us who have been locking our powers up are now going to unlock them. So that's great for us Aquarius. But, we those who were born in the 90s, grew up in the 2000s, 90s, born in the late 80s, grew up in the 90s and 2000s, and, are still alive today. We are the techno generation. We got techno-shocked. And so did the previous generations, because this stuff goes back to I would say 1880s. Actually, this stuff goes back to the 1800s. Let's say right at 1800, because some of the earliest devices using like certain rocks that had magnetic energy, they were using those to transmit signals in the 1830s, 1820s. Okay, so this book is something that is going to help us out in today's world, and the reason why I brought up this book is because right here, where I show you electronic eye implant, and it's telling you a cybernetic eye implant, it's because they're trying to turn the human into an artificial intelligent human. Because, when I say they, I mean the Elon Musk of the world, the Peter Thiels, the Rockefellers of the world, even your common neighborhood neighbor. They want to turn you into you into an artificial intelligent human. Human 3.0, 4.0, 10.0, 5.9, whatever you want to call it. Okay? If that's what they want to do. Because they don't believe that us Aeons have the power. They don't believe in the power that we have. They're like, oh, you're just a human. You need some type of technology to give you that power. When you already have the power yourself. Because you're a god yourself. You're a light Aeon yourself. Or a dark one if you went that route, which then we need to get rid of you. Meaning we just need to bring you back to the light. And so literally, you know, the end goal of Mojo, okay, is not the wearables. It's not on your skin or off your skin, you know, whether, you know, you're holding something in your hand and, you know, or whether it's in your eye. No, that's not the end goal. The end goal is to have a fake eye instead of your real one. Because they don't even want you to see freely. They want to control your vision. The end goal is total control, which I am against control of any kind. That is evil. If it's positive control, like someone jumping off a bridge, which I did explain this before, but I'm going to use this. I'm going to say something totally different now. If someone is jumping off a bridge because they want to commit suicide and you are like pulling them back to save them so they don't die, that's fine. That's not evil control. That's just controlling them not to hurt themselves or commit a crime. But if someone chooses a steak over salad and you slap them on the hand for choosing the steak and say no steak, what's wrong with them choosing steak? Or vice versa, what's wrong with them choosing salad? Why can't they choose a salad? They're not doing anything evil. It's not bad choosing salad or choosing steak. They're not committing a crime. Oh, but see, in your eyes, they committed a crime by choosing steak because they didn't choose your GMO processed salad or vice versa. Ah, okay. All right. They're committing the crime, not you. I get it. These implants work by converting visual information into electrical signals that stimulate the retina or optic nerve, sending signals to the brain that the user can interpret as vision. See, they want to tap into your brain when they do this kind of stuff. They would really like to tap into the soul, the light Aeon. The dark Aeon wants to destroy all light Aeons. That's the end goal. That's Singularity 101. It's going to take forever to get there. How it works, camera and processing. A camera typically mounted on glasses captures images and transmits them to a processing unit. Signal conversation. The processing unit converts the visual data into electrical signals. Implant stimulation. These signals are then sent to an implant usually placed on or near the retina, which stimulates the remaining retinal cells or optic nerve. Brain interpretation. The stimulated cells and signals to the brain, which the user may learn to interpret as visual perception. Types of bionic eyes. Okay, that's the next topic. So that's how it works. So it's going to work with the body, but the body's going to reject it. At first, the body will be like, "Oh, cool." I mean, when you're a child, at first you're like, "Oh, cool," but then you're like, "Nah." I was like that. I mean, Bill Clinton was president, and I was like, oh, cool. But see, right after that, immediately it turned into, nah, I see what's going on. I quickly realized, some of you may not have. Some of you may have realized just today. And all that time until today, you didn't realize that Bill Clinton was a piece of shit. You didn't realize what he was up to, what he was doing. I realized the minute he took office. Like, the minute he took office, I was like, oh, cool, saxophone player. So he's hitting my music side. But I quickly turned and said, nah, I can forget about that. I see what you're all about. Get the fuck off my planet. I don't want you here. You're just evil. You're a demon. So this stuff, at first, the body's going to be like, oh, cool. Hell yeah. Put that on me. But as soon as the body recognizes what it's wanting to do, what it's going to do, the body's going to reject it. It's not going to work with it. And see, these inventors, these scientists, these philosophers, the people in these fields, they know that the body's going to reject it, but they're still going to push it upon the people because they don't give a shit. And they're going to try to come up with a better version that the body's going to reject less and less, but still the body's going to reject it. They're not going to reach 100%. Types of bionic eyes. Retinal implants. These are the most common types and are placed on or near the retina. These are the most common types. Retinal implants are placed on or near the retina. Those are what we have now, but that's not the end goal. That's not where they're going to stop. Optic nerve implants. These bypass the retina and stimulate the optic nerve directly. They are trying to go past the retina. They are trying to create an... Did any of you... I'm sure a lot of you saw the movie Pirates of the Caribbean. Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp. Do you remember the scene? I think it was Pirates of the Caribbean or number 2. It might have been the first one, where that one pirate, he's like the real skinny one, and he loses his eye, but it's a fake eye. That's what they want. They want you to have fake eyes. Electronically controlled eyes. Current limitations and future directions. Limited resolution. Current bionic eyes offer a limited field of vision and resolution compared to natural sight. And they will always have limited resolution. They will not replace the natural eye. Color perception. Most devices do not restore color vision. They will never restore color vision. Cost. Bionic eye implants are expensive and may not be covered by all insurance plans. But that's right now. There are some laws in the works to get these to be super cheap, to where you can go to your local store, buy one, pop out your eye, and implant it in your body in a matter of 2 minutes. There are laws being written right now. There are things being put in place so this shit can be done at home. You'll have your own little eye implant kit. Right at Dollar Tree, a little cheap Chinese eye implant kit that you can just put in there for $1. You just put in your eye, costs $1. It only takes 2 minutes to put in. Bam. Stand in front of your mirror. Oh my gosh. Bzz, bzz. Welcome to the world. I mean, seriously. Ongoing research. Researchers are actively working to improve resolution and expand functionality like color perception and develop more sophisticated systems. They already have. It's just in the it's just that the military has it right now. It'll soon be in the public's eye. It'll soon be in the public's hand. And why the eye? First of all, let's go to the eye. Ancient symbol. The eye of Horus. All those people who cover one part of their face and show one eye. Why the eye? You know your eyes are a portal, right? They are a portal. They let things in. They let light in. Eyes let light in. Eyes allow you to see. It's your vision. Why do they want to mess with your vision? Is there a reason why they want to mess with your vision? Oh, yeah. Because they don't want you to see the truth, the absolute truth. They want you to see everything false. And also, they want to create an artificial world, an artificial life. Artificial life, artificial world, artificial earth. And they only want you to see what's artificial. They don't want you to see what's real. Because what's real is the truth. What's fake is artificial. Examples of bionic systems. Argus 2, a retinal implant that has been used in clinical trials and is approved for some patients with retinal degeneration. And they're always going to give the health angle of it. Oh, that guy over there, he's blind. He's legally blind. He was blind at birth. Well, first of all, how did he get blind? Because the chemicals you put in the water gave the mother a birth defect. As the baby's developing, there's a birth defect going on because the chemicals in the water, because of the evil shit you have been doing for the last trillions of years. So he wouldn't be blind if it wasn't for your nastiness, your chemicals in the water, your chemicals in the food. But also, it's by design. See, they want people blind so then they could come out with this technology. Because you can't give this to someone who sees. But even the people who see, they're just going to have you, even the people who see are still going to get this because they're going to sell it to you like, hey, you have 20/20 vision, right? You're really good. But how would you like to see this and this and this with your own eyes? How would you like to be James Bond? Oh, yeah. I want to see what's under that woman's skirt. I would love to see that. They're going to sell it to a person who can see, not just a blind person. So they're going to hit you with all angles. They're going to say, look, he's blind, so he needs to be able to see. And a lot of you are going to be like, I agree, which we shouldn't be messing with that. Although we know that blindness can occur because of some toxicity in the environment. Because there's natural blindness and then there's unnatural blindness. The natural blindness we should not mess with. The unnatural blindness, well, that's an issue of, hey, the water is toxic. Let's not have toxic water. Stop poisoning our water. So they're going to sell it to, the people who are blind. They're going to give you that health angle. But they're also going to just sell it to the regular person who can see, who has both eyes, 20/20 vision. And the way they're going to sell it to them is, how would you like to have the power of James Bond where you can see what's underneath everyone's clothes? How would you like to have superpowers? Oh man, my eyes don't have superpowers. I can't shoot laser beams out. How would you like that? I have an eye right here, which I can put in your socket, take out your real eye, put in this one, and you can shoot laser beams. Oh, yes, I would love that. They got both angles covered already. Genaris Bionic Vision System. an Australian system that aims to bypass damaged optic nerves and directly stimulate the brain's visual cortex. Your body already does that. You know, actually, blind, like natural blind people who are blind at birth, naturally, not because of some poisonous thing, they can actually become unblind. There's natural ways of doing it. But you see, they don't want you to do those natural ways. They want you to go through a technological solution, some form of electronic solution. They want you to use their technologies to fix it. They don't want you to do it the natural way, the way of the light. Overall, while bionic eye technology is still under development, it offers hope for restoring some degree of sight to individuals with severe vision loss, and ongoing research is paving the way for more advanced and effective devices in the future. They always got to hit you with, oh, the disabled one. I think I'm going to leave it here. And the next show on the next part, the next episode, whatever, I'm going to continue off of the bionic eye. And then smart devices, smart systems. And I was going to read you I was going to read you a few pages from this book he's a French guy, Jean Baudrillard, Simulacra and Simulation, because we are actually living in a simulation, like not so much the Matrix simulation, but it's a part of that. It's a mix of the Truman Show with the Matrix. Okay, so I was going to read you a part of that, but I think I'll do it for the next system. I mean, for the next video, not system. So I'm going to leave it here, but I'm telling you these things so you know what's coming ahead. And I know that they already got the narrative of the future covered, because they're like a lot of people say these days, they got the past, the present, and the future covered with what they want you to know about. They're not going to tell you the truth. I mean, there's some truth. Like what they'll do is they'll sprinkle a little bit of truth on a bunch of the lies. Just dangle that one carrot in front of you, just to keep you going just enough. Okay? So, yeah, we're going to leave it here. At this bionic eye stuff, track and trace technologies, stuff like that. I was going to show you this hands-on Vision's smart contact lens is further along than you might think, and that's true. Now, let me speak on this real quick before I go. See, they're showing you this right now, but they already have stuff that the military is using that is far beyond this. Far beyond this. This right here is like surface level stuff. They got stuff where, I mean, they already have the bionic eye. It already exists. It's just not mainstream. It's just like DARPA has it. I'm sure somebody at CERN is doing that stuff. The militaries around the world, like high level militaries, the upper echelon portions of military have it, and so this right here, this is old technology. They've been spitting this stuff You can go as far back to the 80s, as far back as the 80s, Terminator and stuff like that. You can go back to the 1950s, back to the 1930s, where people were already talking about, contact lenses. This is nothing new. And this is nothing new either. Bionic eyes are nothing new. Cybernetic eyes. This is the end goal in terms of this type of stuff, the smart contact, and the cybernetic eye. That's just the end goal for that. That's not the total end goal, though. The total end goal is to eradicate the human race, to eradicate anything that's a cell life form. They want everything to be like the Borg, just a hunk of metal. Bunch of wires, plastic, and metal pieces. Just basically a bunch of metal and plastic pieces is what they want as the end goal. They don't want anything organic. They want all things to be inorganic. So I'm going to leave it here. I even had this. I had this lined up. But we'll get into it another day. We'll continue on. Part 2 is coming. So I hope you enjoyed this first episode of Technoshock. We're going to dive deep into things. I actually got a song for you. I'm not going to play it, but I'm going to show you the artist that came up with the song. We're going to talk about it. I listened to the song. I have it on my little flash drive on my MP3 player. I play it in my car. It's a very good song. So stay tuned for the next episode. And yeah. So I'm going to leave it here. And oh, geez, what the hell? I didn't realize I was dark in here. It's because I had my window open. So I hope you guys enjoyed Technoshock episode 1. Please stay tuned, like, subscribe, share, hit that bell notification, and just leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know how you like it, how you like this podcast episode, whatever. And there's more to come. Okay, so yeah, Technoshock episode 1. All right. Biohazard Candy Kid has been your server today. So, I served you up a plate. It was a heavy one. It was a good meal. You guys got fat. Now you can burn it off by, riding your bicycle, going for a jog, doing some exercise, and stay healthy. Staying healthy, So, yeah. I'll see you guys in the next episode, or you'll see me. Stay tuned for the next episode of Technoshock. Peace.